There are two types of connections to supply power to a property. The first is through overhead power lines that connect the main electricity power lines that are elevated and supported by power line poles to the roof or high on a wall of an existing building, generally the main residence. This is known as the connection point or network boundary. Overhead power is common in older suburbs. The second is through an underground power line that connects the electrical pillar or pit either onto or into the wall of an existing building, generally the main residence. This is known as the connection point or network boundary. Underground mains power is common in newer suburbs and in some cases properties that have had an upgrade from overhead to underground power due to a previous development, or the owner of the property preferring not to have the visual impact of overhead cables. In both of these cases, the power supply cables are owned by the network provider. In the ACT, the network provider is Evo Energy, formerly Actu AGL. If upgrades are required to these cables due to a new development, the lessees of the property are responsible for the cost of these upgrades. The network provider remains the owner of the upgraded network cables. The most common reasons Evo Energy requests upgrades to the mains power cables are: the development is planned too close to cables according to the overhead and underground clearances as required by the network provider, or the network cables are not sufficient to provide the power supply required for the new development and the existing development on the property. This is generally an upgrade from a single phase to a three-phase power supply. At the point of connection or network boundary, the cables continue, generally in a wall or a roof space, and connect to the meter box for the property. This section of cable is known as the consumer mains. This section of cable may also be requested to be upgraded as a result of additional electricity demands due to a new development. When adding a detached addition that does not share a common wall or floor system, the power supply to the new development is provided through what is known as the sub-mains power supply. This is an underground cable between the new building and the existing building that includes the meter box. The cable is connected to a sub-mains distribution board in the new building. The sub-mains distribution board contains the individual circuit breakers that protect the electricity infrastructure from overload. Appliances such as ovens, electric cooktops and air conditioning will have their own circuits, while lights and power points can be grouped on a circuit to meet the rules for electrical safety. Often when adding a second home or significant addition or extension, upgrades will be required, as the original power infrastructure was generally intended for a single residence. Homes are often now more reliant on electrical power for heating and cooling, cooking and hot water than they were when the development was first approved. So even without adding new developments to a property, many older homes can benefit from an upgrade to the cables or to the distribution board that contains the circuit breakers. Many older homes will also not comply with the current safety standards due to the updates and improvements in electricity supply safety requirements.